We are now finally going to learn how to find the inverse matrix. Okay, the inverse of matrix A is written as this. So as you can see, it looks like A is risen to the power of -1 here. And let's look here. What does the inverse actually do? Well, A times by the inverse is equal to the identity matrix. This is what we saw at the very beginning of this lesson. This is the point of finding the inverse. By finding the inverse, you can multiply it with the original to get the identity out. Now, if we make this a very simple example without matrices, let's just picture this for a moment. Let's say I had 3 times some unknown number is equal to the number 1. Because remember, the identity matrix functions as the number 1 functions. Now, what would I have to multiply 3 by to get 1 out? Well, I would multiply 3 by the inverse of 3, which is simply 1 on 3. And that's how I would get 1 out. Now, the same logic holds true now. If I have matrix A, what do I have to multiply it by in order to get the identity matrix out? Well, I multiply it by the inverse of A. That is what you're doing. So that's kind of just the thinking behind the inverse there. Let's now talk about how we actually find it and go through this formula together.